Nene will find a way. Messi will find a way. For Mbappe, stop the prodigy and the game is yours. That's the rumor around the streets right now. Guys are in 4K. We're in 4K! Okay, it is 4K, baby. Because it's scary, because we have to go 4K because things have gotten slightly real. So stop Mbappe, stop the prodigy, and you win. And I think this is what everyone is saying to you. And for me, I think it is true, but England have to be scary not to walk into a certain trap. Now, let's just deal with the facts of the matter here. If fully fit France with Pogba and Kante, England can't beat a fully fit France. It's impossible. They can't. Pogba and Kante, they would offer too much dominance of that midfield for them to say anything. So it would literally be impossible. No Pogba, no Kante. It's still going to be hard. France are still favourites. People would put their money in France to win. But I do believe that England have a better chance to beat France without Pogba and Kante. Football is not as simple as stop one man and there we go, because many people have said that as much as Mbappe has grabbed the headlines, one of the best performers of this World Cup has been Griezmann. So say only words about the side chick. The side chick has been one of the best performers at this World Cup. So, and again, I will never pay his fan. I'll never recognize his goals. Giroud has turned up and scored. Rabiot has been better than expected. We know how dangerous Theo Hernandez can be. Liverpool fans know how good Konate can be if he does play in that to defense. So it is still an extremely talented team. And it's just not all on Mbappe. But if you're Southgate and you're looking at the game plan here, and like I was advising your boy Southgate, because this is the favorite team. This is David up against Goliath, France being Goliath, England being David. England are the underdogs in this game, I would say that you can't go toe-to-toe with France because you simply don't have the players. Specifically, you don't have the midfield. You see, you can step up to a Senegal because Senegal just don't have the personnel. But playing a Senegal, playing an Iran or a Wales is very different from playing a France, because France are vastly so superior. I look at that game against Poland. If you don't give Mbappe space, you have a deep block. Mbappe finds it difficult. Mbappe doesn't have the close control, walking in tight spaces ability that Leo has, that Nene has. Because you can have a deep block, 2-3 guys, Nene will find a way. Messi will find a way. For Mbappe, because really that goal came about against Poland because there was just a little bit of space and Mbappe gave the ball to Giroud, who then ended up to score. So Mbappe didn't really create something out of nothing because of the tight spaces. So if you're England and you frustrate Mbappe, get into him tight, put him in tight spaces, force him to try to go ISO. Force him to go up against two guys, have a deep block, have many men behind him. Mbappe will find it very, very difficult to get his shot off. He'll find it very difficult to be effective. Because what Poland didn't have is the playmaking ability of a Kane, the technical ability of a Saka, the footballing ability of a Foden. And here is the key thing. This is where it gets key. England's game has to be defend, subdue, restrict, counter. Defend, subdue, restrict, counter. And the most important player for England will be Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham is the key for England. That is the key. He is the most important piece because what he represents, that sets the counter. That is the counter-attacking point in which England can now build off of, because you now are able to use him, say what's up to your boy, and get him to really be able to really launch that counter and that space and utilize that pass. There is a game plan here. There is a very strong, viable game plan here for England to beat France. Because let's be real, that's England's defense is strong. People have insulted the mag. They've slabhead the fridge. For United, he's garbage, 100%. We know that the guy is completely useless for United. Under Southgate for England, he's money. And especially if you put in an Henderson or a Rice to protect that defense, France will find it very hard to break down England. Because let's be real, France have not faced a defense as good as England. They haven't. If you look at Denmark, Australia, Tunisia, Poland, none of these guys are anywhere near as good defensively as England. So France will find it hard to break down England. Especially if England they're already good defensively. You restrict that space, they're going to find it very hard to get them together. That's why they're going to have to rely on your boy Griezmann. Because here's the thing. If England gave Mbappe space, allow him to take that step up, allow him to ISO and dummy defender and put his shot off there, then that is where England lose this game. England lose this game if Mbappe has a good game and they give Mbappe space. England win this game by restricting Mbappe and also by stopping Griezmann from getting any balls through. So the two important pieces, because for me, I think the Mag Stones, they can handle Giroud. Giroud is not a dangerous striker, and I think Giroud is reliant on what Hernandez is doing, providing the balls from there, or whether it's Koundé, on what Mbappe and Griezmann can supply him, or what the Us can supply him. But Giroud on his own can't generate anything, so England can handle Giroud. The issues are Griezmann's playmaking ability and what Mbappe can do. So if they can shut those guys down, keep it very hard to do defensive, I think France will find it hard to break down England. And France will need something truly exceptional to try to break down England. And I think for England, Jude Bellingham, he is the key. Because he is the dude that can launch in those counters. I mean, look, it's a big game. It's a massive game. And this is where we're at with it. The last time England beat a big team who were sort of good, because I was sort of thinking to myself, that's one time England really beat a team that was sort of like, top. It was I believe it was the Netherlands at Euro 96. Because 2 years later, Netherlands reached the semi-finals, So that was pretty much a core of a team that who in 98 reached the semi-finals. Although you may say to yourself, I remember like how good were they really? And maybe like in 90s they said what's up, but I can't use Germany because we're now seeing what's happened to Germany. They're not being able to get through the groups in 2 World Cup. So I'll say it was probably the Netherlands. So what is working against England is they haven't really beaten a big team at their top, especially a team who people view as favorites. Because now I don't think France are favorites. I don't think France will get into the final. But if you look on paper, if you just look at what the street and people are saying, France will be seen as one of the favorites for this thing to say what's up. So England beating France if England were to beat France, this would be, I'll be real with you. This may sound crazy. If England beats France, a fully fit France, you have Griezmann, Giroud, Mbappe, Uste. If they beat France, I think this could be England's biggest victory since probably the 60s or 70s. That may sound crazy, but I think this would be one of England's biggest ever victories for like 20, 30, 40 years. So that is what it's, because for me, this would be a bigger victory than against Germany and against Spain and Netherlands at Euro 96 home nation tax. So it would be huge. So people would say, okay, wow, I mean, what are the chances of them doing that? But if ever there was a World Cup for that to happen, it's this World Cup. We've seen what Japan have done. We've seen what Saudi Arabia did to begin with. We've seen what freaking Morocco have done. This probably is a World Cup to be like, yeah, it's time for England to say what's up there. I mean, for France, man, look, France have to realize what England are going to try and do. Unless they're stupid. France realize that, okay, no, these guys are going to try to shut down Mbappe because they just know how dangerous this guy is. He is currently the top scorer. He's currently the top scorer. So they know that, look, yeah, we'll feed Mbappe, where Griezmann has to step up his game. the Us has to step up his game. Other guys have to raise their game because all of the attention is going to be on Mbappe, which means that other guys have to now raise their threats level to now offer something different that maybe England will not be expected. And that's why for England, you've got to be careful that 100%. You have to have a game plan for Mbappe. But it can't just be, Mbappe, because you fall into the trap of like forgetting what other guys could potentially do. It's a tough one to call. It's a tough one to call. But I do feel England's best. And here's my thing, that I think England should stick with the back four. Stick with the back four, but a slightly more defensive approach. They don't need to go to a back three. I think I wouldn't advise changing formation mid-World Cup. But that's not, because I was about to say, okay, you go maybe back three to no. Stick to a back four, but not as open or as attacking. And trust in your personnel's, the defenders, and so forth. And then you have to get Jude Bellingham on the ball, because the key thing is where you win the ball, intercepting the ball, and win. Because you've got 90 minutes, and in those 90 minutes, there are going to be 2, 3, 4 scenarios where the right pass, the right run could lead to a goal. This is going to happen. There's going to be an overload. There's going to be an opportunity where France are in an overload situation, and if England win the ball in the right place, make the right pass, make the right moves, you have a great goal scoring situation for you to say what's up. So England, they can win this. I mean, I'll think of my prediction later on, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But I'll reiterate, as much as France are favorites for this, of course they're favorites in this, England have a chance. If England have the right strategy for this, they do have a chance of saying, what's up? We're here. It lives. No excuse.